Take two.
Take two.
Let's repeat the first take. Are you filming?
I'm filming, yeah.
Okay, keep your voice out of this, okay? Because you're the director. You're filming, and so on. Hi, this is Rick Harsh. You know me from back in grade school, and this is brought to you by Saber Guitars. They're still going. They still have a few guitars left. You know, if you got 2,000 euros and want to have the same guitar that they use for Deep Purple, contact me. I'll put you in touch with Dauber and Saber, who's one of the best. What do they call the people who row boats? Rowers. Anyway, who's this? Can you see him? Is he in the frame?
He's in the frame.
I told you to keep your fucking voice out of this. This is James Adler, and this is a really special appearance, and I'll tell you why. I met James, what was it, 1920 or something here?
My age. Please will go.
When did we meet? I met you.
You met me
Fucking just answer the question. Don't complicate.
in person?
No.
Online?
Came to know you.
I was about 14, 13. It would have been 20...
2020. Okay.
2020.
Yeah. So, well, let's just get into it. Who is James Adler? You'll see him on the cover. He did a blurb for Driftless Zone, which was really nice of him because he's a recluse. This is actually, to get him on film today, I had to badger him. He came to visit me 3 years ago, but he didn't come as who he really is in the sense it'll interest you. But this is the best Australian writer on earth. And I'm not kidding you. I mean, Murnane is inane compared to this guy. He's the bane of Murnane. And Louis Armand is Australian origin, not Abo origin, but, you know, or maybe, is he an Aborigine?
Not from looking at him.
Not
But
from
he
looking
might
at him.
He might have. I don't know.
Oh, he's got mysteriously massive arms. I remember when we were in Prague, he was always sitting in the same spot, and I remember looking at his arm and thinking, God, I'm not a man, you know. But that guy, I mean, look at my arm. I mean, I'm particularly skinny, and I've never been muscular. No, that's not true. I was really strong when I was 19. I had to lift radiators. You know how heavy those are?
I can guess.
They don't have heat in his town. So anyway, James Adler is a writer that you will never read if he has his way. Could you please, I wrote about James on WordPress before I understood how computers work, and that there could be other ways that people could get to know him. So well, you'll see what the problem is. James, could you read what I wrote about you?
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to say, fuck no, you read it.
Fuck no.
We were
I would prefer that you read it.
Okay. How nice he put it.
You'll have to constantly be touching or it will go off.
I
Continue.
fucking know now how to do that, but help me if in case I fuck
If it
up.
goes dark, just touch the screen like that.
Right.
Alright, continue. Sorry.
He's a condescending son of a bitch in person, but this is what I wrote before I met him, and this is really amazing. This is me writing about. It's entitled. It's May 31st, 2020. The role of James Adler in my fiction. It was 10 years ago. Oh, so it was before 2020. You were right. He's usually right. It was 10 years ago, so the writing prodigy James Adler, an Australian, must have been but 13 years old when he wrote me. Having read and loved my Driftless trilogy, he asked what I was writing, and I told him about the little novels. And he asked to see them, and I sent him Cramberger. I think I sent PDFs, so I do have some capacity for, machinery. Anyway, so I told him about the little novels, and he asked to see them, and I sent him Cranberger with Monkey, and Voices After Evelyn, and Skulls of Istria, and Adriatica Deserta, all in Word format. Whoops, not PDF. That was before I learned about PDFs. And, you know, he replied about a month later and said they were all good enough. But when was I going to write something big? That got my hackles up. I recalled we had an exchange about hackles, what they were, when they had been imported to Australia, and the fact that they caused more havoc on that big island than cane toads. When to establish his credentials. What does that mean? How does that fit in there? Do you get that? When to establish his credentials. It's a dash. When to establish his credentials. He was now 14. He sent me a novel he had crafted himself. A drawing of a middle-aged woman on a telephone on a cover of a novel, typed, called It's Danny. It was about a phone call a family received from the troubled and disruptive Danny, and was a masterpiece of dark comedy. He was 14. You know, I was utterly amazed. I'm still amazed. You're amazing. And I'm saying that, and you're having to look like you're not shy and humble.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I asked if he had sent it out, and he told me he had absolutely no interest in writing for anyone but his friends and would never sully himself by publishing. I'm a publisher. I guess I'm a piece of shit. Is that right?
Yeah, you're one of the good
Well,
ones.
we've become really good friends so that, you know, he is here and he's actually doing this under duress. But the thing is, he really will not let me publish his books. I mean, God, what the world is missing. So he would never sully himself by publishing. Since then, I have read at least 5 of his novels, all of them masterpieces. I'm not making this up. They're masterpieces. And particularly Your Ape, a novel of 600 or more pages of a complexity I cannot begin to describe, but rivals Pynchon at the very least in its jubilance, sinister atmosphere, and extraordinary wordplay, not to mention many extended comic scenes that remain imprinted on my brain as if I had lived through them. So during the course of our correspondence, an idea was born. I can't say specifically how, that I write something big. And thus, The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, considered my best novel, was born. And with some ideas from the young Adler sprinkled in, I stole his work. It's the only way to get him in print. So there are passages in Manifold Destiny, and I'm not going to say which ones, but, you know, I mean, stolen to a degree, but I mean, I made them my own, I promise. And with some ideas from the young Adler sprinkled in, executed to the point where it has become my best work of fiction. James Adler will not send me a photo, nor do I have his permission to write this, but I think deep down he will appreciate it. I owe the resurrection of my writing career to this young man. Can I kiss you on the lips? On the lips. Oh, fuck it then. Okay. So James, I just want to ask you, you know, in Your Ape, there's the scene where the ape is given over in return, given over in return. You know, no, it's your ape. You know, where did you get the inspiration for that? I mean, it's simple comedy, it's slapstick that went on. That was like, was that 50 pages?
Oh,
I mean,
we're going back a long time, over 10 years, I think.
Yeah, but that's the one you're most often asked to read at parties.
Yeah,
you know?
but I rarely do. Where did that come from? I think actually.
Oh no, I remember you told me once. Sorry, I remember. You know, it was, they had it. He's from a suburb of Melbourne, and that was the Melbourne Great Ape Escape. Was it I mean, it was an ape. It wasn't a chimp. It was probably a gibbon. I think it was a gibbon. A gibbon.
Yeah, gibbon.
Escaped and was just absolutely wild and loose in the Melbourne downtown area. And it was like the thing that really caught me about it, and he told me that he did fictionalize it, but mostly from a real story. It was going into bars, and it was just wiping out bars. It's strong. Monkeys are strong. Chimps are amazingly strong. I once had one put its arm around me, and you know that of all the primates, the ones with the biggest dicks, you'll never guess. Yes.
The capuchin.
Scientific fact. Huh?
The capuchin monkey.
No, the human.
Oh.
And I think the gibbon, maybe this one was gibbon a really good one, but it was bigger than mine. Not that mine is monstrous, and I'm not going to show it. Don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
But can you show us your penis?
No.
It's
I'm
I'm
YouTube.
not gonna.
It's YouTube. You already
We're
kicked
not.
off
We're
Facebook.
not going to embarrass anybody here, but his fiance is right there, and she told me. I asked her about it. I'm not a really careful guy, and I'll just say that she used the collocation fire hydrant, and yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to say? Something nice about me, maybe, and my work?
His hair is fantastic.
What about my writing? That's what matters.
Oh, the writing.
What's your favorite book by me?
Ooh, probably.
Besides Eddie Vegas.
Maybe, I think honestly the Driftless trilogy.
Yeah,
I love this.
because he's got a fucking blurb on it.
No. Excluding the blurb, even.
Okay, what's your favorite part of the Driftless trilogy? If we're gonna put this in. We were out of these copies, and it's hard to get 750 pages into a short book. James had the idea of making this a big book, so we're gonna bring it back out in large size, and that'll give Zach Tanner some leeway with the fonts and all of that. And we're gonna have a brand new cover.
It deserves
a
to
new
have
blurb.
a bigger presence.
Can you write
on
a
the
new
shelf.
blurb?
Oh,
for the new one?
yeah. I'll reread it and I'll see what I come up with.
The blurb will probably be something like, thank God I can finally read this book, and when I actually say nice things, I'll have read it.
Yeah.
And I'm not making it up. But no, your favorite moment in the Driftless trilogy? It was so hard to get him to do this, and now I'm really fucking him.
The scene that comes to me right now is probably in Billy Verite when it's not even a scene per se. It's more his how do you say it? His persistence in trying his best constantly to do the right thing. Well, I forgot her name. Lola, and she's constantly quite horrid to him,
belittling him, so
him.
on.
But
actually,
his heart carries it.
What about when the scene where her, in a sense, her hairy mound, her genital hairy area becomes a tarantula.
The mossy knoll tarantula scene. Yeah, that's
a
your
great
favorite.
one.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
It's a top
we're
3.
we're still talking about Your Ape. I mean, the rest of his novels are fucking great. I thought like I could talk him into just let me publish this little one. He will not. He will not let me. And so, I mean, it's Danny. I still laugh like I do at movies, that I love, like in Bruges, funny stuff in there. And when Behind Your Back, I do quote from it, but I don't mention you.
Don't credit me.
I don't violate your being. But the thing is, Your Ape, it would be like the best novel of this century if I could publish it. I want to publish it badly, and I know that if I keep doing what I'm doing, he'll say no until I'm on my deathbed, and then he'll lie. He'll say, yeah, Rick, I won't even have to ask you. You'll come and you'll say, Rick, we're all going to miss you. I love you. We all love you. Wait a minute. Rick. Well, what he was going to say before I died was, I'm going to give you Your Ape. I'm going to give it to Zach, and he's going to bring it out.
Yeah. Zach can have it when
Yeah.
you're dead.
Yeah.
How's
Okay.
Deal?
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So we don't have to have the deathbed scene. This was James Adler. This is one of the thrills of my life, and if I ever get, you know, I
Whoa.
can't. That's the fucking monkey god Hanuman. Could you pick him up at least?
I broke something.
Jesus Christ! You didn't
Cut.
break anything.
Cut. I did.
Oh, okay. Well, forget what you broke. No, pick up Hanuman. Hanuman's it's a god. You know the rest. Okay. This
Cut.
is chaos. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for listening. And James,
I did.
I love your work more than I love you.
Rick, I love you more than I love your work. Your work is
Well,
pretty good.
It's second rate only because of you. All right.
Read John Grisham.